Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Anthony, aka Skills and Such on the internet. I'm a competitive freestyle calisthenics athlete and soon to be, training hand balancer. And I just kind of wanted to give this information to the calisthenics community or anybody who is willing to listen, right? I love my sport so much, and I started out over a decade ago where there wasn't a lot of information just readily accessible. You had to really search for it and dive into forums and watch gymnastics videos or circus videos, and there was bar stars and stuff like that. But in the beginning, the word calisthenics, beauty and strength, I really took to heart, right? Like, I thought the form, the shape, the artistic aspect was really, really cool. So that's what I went for. I started pointing my toes early on. I watched ballet videos to figure out how to fucking point my toes and stuff and all that stuff. So I have gathered a lot of information to build, my practice. And not saying my practice is the only way. There's tons of ways to do this stuff, but at the end of the day, I see in our sport, a lot of times people learn a handstand, and it's usually like the first skill they learn in calisthenics, that they really are like, wow, I can do a static skill, is the handstand. And once they learn the handstand, then they put it in the toolbox and they never try to progress on it again. But in my mind, handstand is something that you can continuously build. And there's so many layers to it, and it's like a giant puzzle. So with the handstand, I want to at least kind of give a thought process to maybe start thinking about, and you can use this in your own training if you choose. Like I said, with planche, we focus on form so much. Back in the day, the planche used to look like this, retracted, and it was a dead planche, and it wasn't too high, and the front lever was, saggy at the hips. And now everything is, strict form, and, protract, squeeze the glutes, all of this stuff, right? If it doesn't look proper, it's like it just doesn't count in this world. And that's nor here nor there. You can think about it the way you want. I think people can move the way they want to if that's really the move. But I just want to give you this so, hopefully this can help progress your training and then the way you think about training. And maybe this helps the other stuff too. But, with handstand, I think about that planche shape, but with a very open shoulder angle, right? So I'm like planche form, but open shoulders. So with handstand, I think about three things. You have the balance aspect, you have the strength aspect, and then you have the mobility or flexibility aspect. And three of those together, it kind of combines this whole thing. So with the mobility, the strength, and the balance factor, when you combine them, it really does start building, a really, really good practice. And we always talk about specificity, intensity, and volume. That still plays a big role too. But with that all being said, this is something that helped me a lot in my practice. Was every handstand has an entry, the balance itself, and then the exit portion, right? With the entry and the balance portion, you need to have a good entry to have good balance. And then on top of that, I'm gonna exit the same way I entered. So what we'll do is we'll do like a lunging kick in, right? Scissor kick, whatever you call it. And I'm only gonna do 50% of the movement. So in the beginning, I think about one, pushing and elevating through my shoulders, very heavy. We're gonna have a little bit of protraction in the back, but you want a really open shoulder angle if possible. So if you have closed shoulders, you'll have to work on that portion. And the same thing with squeezing the glute and internally rotating the hip. So hip and your pelvis in towards your rib. Okay, so push the ground away, hop up. This leg, the trailing leg, the last leg is gonna stay low, and the leg that goes up first is gonna stay high into your handstand shape, right? So we'll do this. Hold, 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 push, 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 and back down. So same thing, enter, balance, exit the way I came in. I'll do a few of these. I'm not bringing this leg up yet, and then exit, right? I'll probably do a few sets of that, and then once I get really comfortable, I'll start bridging the gap and bringing both legs together. So we'll try that, okay? So, find the balance, bring it in, shape, shape, shape. And there we go. All right, cool. I'll do a few of these, but like I said, you can use this for any entry. If you're gonna do a tuck in, you can tuck in. Oh, there we go. And come back down. Tuck in. And come back down. You know, you can do this in a straddle as well. I bend my knees kind of like a squat, and then I kind of pop up. And back down. Okay? And then if you want to, you can do the harder version, which is a press, but the pressing portion is gonna use a good amount of compression or your mobility factor. So with the compression, I'll do a video on compression in itself, but today, like I said, just to kind of show you. And I rock into my press a little bit, so I use a little bit of momentum. See? Okay, so the last one I kind of fell out to the side, but you get the idea. So realistically, this is all I'm trying to give you today. It's just a way to think about handstand training and knowing that you can take hand balancing just a step farther versus just having a handstand and moving on. But again, my name is Anthony, aka Skills and Such. Have a good day and enjoy your training.